Hello everyone and welcome to Draw My Year for the year 2008. In this year, the economy was not doing well. It was so bad that we call this year the Great Recession. This was mainly caused by the collapse of the U.S. housing bubble. But let's look at the 2008 economy in numbers. The unemployment rate was 5.8%, but this is really just a snapshot of the overall economy. So let's go into more specifics. The real GDP was $16,781.485 billion. The price level, or GDP deflator, was 88.016. And the real potential GDP was $16,862.33067 billion. Now this gives us a recessionary output gap of $80.8457 billion. So when we look at the economy in 2008, we realize that something really needs to change. So we ask ourselves, how do we fix this?
We found that our MPC was 0.634141. Therefore, our MPS was 0.365859. We found the amount of money that the government will spend in order to close the gap by settling our output gap equal to the spending multiplier times X. We solved for X and found that the government will need to increase spending by $29,578,164,044. So what's our plan? Trains.
Building trains is the best way to fix the 2008 economy. This is because we will be able to spend the right amount of money while providing public transportation and lots of jobs. We propose a 440-mile train system connecting San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, and Houston. We will build modern double-track passenger trains. The total construction cost for the tracks would be about $11 billion. Each city would also get its own train station just as grand and beautiful as Grand Central Station. Each of these will cost about $450 million, totaling $1.8 billion. Another $2.2 billion would go to advanced systems to keep all of our passengers safe. We will also need environmental protections and management, bringing the total spending to about $29.58 billion, the perfect amount to close our gap.
All this spending will create a budget deficit because the government is going to spend more than it will collect in tax revenue. But let's see what this will look like on a graph. Now let's look at the ADAS model. As you can see, this increase in spending will cause aggregate demand to increase, which will increase the price level, which may be seen as a negative effect, but it will close the gap by bringing real GDP to its real potential output. This looks like it's all fixed, but it may be more complicated than that. Now, let's look at the loanable funds model. Our real interest rate in 2008 is 2.03932%. When we increase government spending, we will be increasing the demand for loans because the government will have to get loans. This will increase the real interest rate and the quantity of loans.
Theoretically, this could lead to crowding out. Because the government is driving up the price of loans, businesses will not be able to afford to borrow as much, which theoretically could lead to less potential economic growth. However, this may not be the case because of what we are spending our money on: trains. The trains and train stations will create more jobs, create areas for stores, and allow for public transportation, which would make it easier for workers to commute to work. Thank you for listening to how we would have fixed the economy in 2008.
This has been Avery Knight,
Maggie Haruto,
Elise George,
Lauren Stevens,
and Juliana Long. Thank you.